Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Kubernetes Cluster API Azure, our weekly office hours meeting. It is October 17th, 2024. As I'm sure you're well aware, we are a sub-project of SIG Cluster Lifecycle, and therefore we generally abide by the Kubernetes community rules of conduct, which boil down to mostly let's try to be polite, make this a welcoming environment for everybody, try to use the raise hand feature in Zoom so we don't talk over each other. We don't generally have any issues in this area, but this is what I usually say at the beginning of the meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, we also want to welcome anybody who's here for the first time or hasn't been here in a while or just wants to identify themselves and say howdy. So I will be quiet for 30 seconds or however long, and just feel free to unmute and say hi.
I'll say hi. My name's Niels. I'm from the Microsoft team. I'm actually on the Microsoft team working closely with Adobe, and given their increased potential adoption of CAPC, I decided to join here and see how I can further assist Adobe.
Awesome. Welcome.
I'm Jorge Valderas. I'm a cloud solution architect with Microsoft, and yeah, been helping out on the AKS efforts with the kill. So yeah, just joining to see how we can help here.
That's great. Thanks for coming.
Mhm.
Okay, and then if you feel like adding your name to the attendees list, it just helps us remember who was here. It's not necessary if you want to. Um, and then let's move on to open discussion. We don't actually have anything outlined on the agenda yet, but that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have anything to talk about. So uh, if you have anything on your mind, speak up now. Do we want to, is there any Adobe specific stuff about CAPC we should all focus on, or the floor is yours?
No, not at this time. Though I do expect that in probably by the end of the year or early next year, you'll start to see more active participation and contributions from us again. So that'll be a good thing, I think.
Definitely.
We were a little more active in the community towards the end of last year, and then things got kind of reprioritized a little bit first part of this year, and now we're finally circling back a bit again, and so hopefully we'll be able to contribute on a little more regular of a basis coming back up again as we do some more AKS migrations, next year.
That all sounds great.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, as I'm sure you're aware, CAPC, I mean, things keep chugging along and there's a lot of activity, but the activity level is kind of stabilized to a dull roar. So kind of looking forward to bigger changes, actually, or more.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's besides me, there's another two or three people that are looking forward to being able to contribute. I know they've been talking to David. I'm trying to get them to talk more in the public Slack channels versus just pinging David.
Yeah.
But teaching people open source methodologies sometimes is a little bit, time, it takes a little while to get used to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me switching between teams and where I'm supposed to be all day.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, expect to see, or at least more of us in the Slack channels in the coming months, and then hopefully on the GitHub PRs and stuff as well. So I'm excited about it.
That sounds excellent. Um, any other comments? David, do you have anything to say about? We don't actually have an agenda, so we can keep it short or we can freestyle.
Um, yeah, I mean, we could, I guess, if no one has anything, we could just do like triage or PR review status kind of update stuff. But yeah,
Okay,
everything.
let's do it. Let's go through PR triage. I mean, this could be pretty inside baseball, so if you guys want to bail, that is totally fine. But we also use this meeting as a way to force ourselves to go through our to-do list, essentially. We talked about the Go Auto Rest one recently. This has come up again, the default Azure Linux images because Andy Zhang, who does the cloud, who's cloud controller manager, they want to test with ARM64, which is a whole separate ball of wax, but they also want to test with Azure Linux. So anyway, but he talked about it. I'm not sure actually defaulting to Azure Linux is smart right away because people probably have some customizations that expect there to be Ubuntu underneath. So he's kind of talked me out of the idea of this being a default, but still we want to support it. So I've been publishing new Azure Linux images. So these are all still in progress, I think is correct. This I kind of let drop and it needs rebase and stuff. So the SysX templates. So maybe I need to reach out to the flat car people and just make sure they're still interested in going this way. I think these are all actually still in progress. Somebody yell out if they need to be updated. This is definitely still in progress. Got one that needs review. Someone has bandwidth. Wait on author. That's true. This, I don't think this is wait on author anymore. Actually, I know it's not, so I'm going to put this back in needs review. Not that that's going to make SIG scalability jump on it, but so we don't have any that really need triage, and I think at a high level these are all in the right buckets. Does anybody know otherwise? So then, is there anything else on that we want to look at? David, you want to see milestone review?
Yeah, I think that's fine for that.
Okay.
We are we are planning to and I need to put this on the backlog. It's a memory jog. The graduation of the ASO based API. So we need to probably update the release notes of the deprecation because I don't think we ever did on the 117 release. Because in the roadmap, we actually merged the roadmap, which is now public. And we said in 117 we're going to announce the deprecation of the current API. So it'd be good to actually put that in, maybe just update the release notes for that. And then also I need to put on the roadmap the actual move from alpha to beta on the API.
Okay. I can sync up with John Hune about the updating the release notes. So we could just do that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't think we have an actual issue on the graduation. I know we've talked about it internally, but we need to make that a public issue so that we can like have it on the roadmap officially and just have it shown on the roadmap board.
Okay. I can take that as a to-do item. That shouldn't take very long.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else we want to look at or talk about?
Mike, I'm just curious, like if your folks, if you know, have they gotten unblocked on the issue that was, I think there was a public issue on it about the fields changing. Like we have the CapZ issue. I have to find the link real quick, but
I know there was a PR that Nishant opened to the generators that is under review, and he had another PR that was just merged. So I'm not sure which PR that was for in the ASO. But I
yeah,
know
there was one. Yeah, there was one which was the storage account thing, which was I think that fixed that, but that was an ASO based issue. But there was one which a bit effectively, it was a like some of the fields were changing, and I'm curious like if that's at a stalemate or not. It's pretty weird behavior.
I don't know. We didn't speak about specific issues. We just talked in more generalities of that there was some open, some closed, and merged, and some stuff fixed, but not the specific ones those were.
Okay.
But he did said he was very happy with the progress of everything. So if there is anything still open, it's progressing. So
I'll paste a link to the issue just so there's proper context for it being up in the recording anyway.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? Not seeing any hands or anything. All right. Well, let's call it a 15-minute meeting today, and hopefully we'll see you here next week or on the Slack channel.
All right. Sounds great.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, Matt.
Good one.
Good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bye.